This is the Atlas Files. We're building a case, and every episode adds evidence that the official story is either catastrophically wrong or deliberately misleading. You don't get 13 anomalies by accident. And you definitely don't exhibit the behavior you're about to see if you're a frozen rock from interstellar space. Let's see if natural explanations survive what's coming. By the end of the series, you'll understand why this changes everything. Subscribe to follow the complete series. Atlas has 3 acceleration mysteries that connect directly to artificial propulsion rather than natural outgassing. JPL Horizons tracks Atlas's position using observations from 230 observatories worldwide and detected non-gravitational acceleration at 10 standard deviations, statistically unquestionable. Atlas is accelerating in ways gravity alone cannot explain. The magnitude is 135 kilometers per day, squared radially away from the Sun, and 60 kilometers per day, squared transverse to the radial direction. For natural comets, this acceleration comes from the rocket effect of sublimating gas. Ice heated by the Sun turns to gas and jets outward, pushing the nucleus in the opposite direction by momentum conservation. The measured acceleration level requires massive outgassing. More than 10% of Atlas's total mass must be lost at thermal speeds of 400 meters per second to produce the observed thrust. Here's the first mystery. Objects that lose 10% of their mass don't stay intact. Thermal stress creates cracks. Structural failure follows. Comets fragment when they shed significant fractions of their mass. We've observed this repeatedly. Atlas didn't fragment. Images show one solid body with no breakup, no debris field, no separation into pieces despite forces that should have torn it apart. The second mystery is what that acceleration accomplished. It shifted Atlas's trajectory by exactly the amount needed to hit Jupiter's Hill radius on March 16, 2026. Without that course correction at perihelion, Atlas would have missed the deployment zone. The thrust was precisely calibrated to achieve a specific navigational outcome, threading the needle into Jupiter's gravitational capture radius, where satellites can orbit with minimal fuel. The third mystery is NASA's response. When Loeb published calculations showing the Jupiter-Hill radius match, JPL Horizons revised their non-gravitational acceleration model within 48 hours. They switched from a water-ice sublimation model used for 31 years to a CO2 model with different radial dependence, and the new coefficient was adjusted downward by a factor of 6. The revision conveniently moved Atlas's predicted Jupiter distance from perfect Hill radius alignment to just outside that boundary. But the new model contradicts observational data. Atlas brightened more steeply near perihelion than the smooth CO2 inverse square model predicts. Multiple observers documented luminosity evolution showing radial dependence of 1/r raised to power 7.5, which is inside 2 astronomical units, not the gentle 1/r square that CO2 sublimation produces. Correcting for the observed brightness profile brings the Peryov distance prediction back toward Hill radius agreement. Chemical rockets produce exhaust at 3,000 to 5,000 meters per second. Ion drives reach 10,000 to 40,000 meters per second. At those velocities, the required mass loss drops by factors of 100 to 10,000 compared to thermal sublimation. Instead of losing 10% of total mass, Atlas would only need to expel 0.1% to 0.001% with technological propulsion. Losing 0.1% doesn't cause fragmentation. Why it matters? Acceleration requiring fragmentation level mass loss, but no fragmentation occurred. Course correction achieving precise Jupiter targeting. NASA model revision after the coincidence was exposed. Natural explanation demands impossible structural integrity. Artificial explanation requires modest propellant expenditure. Drop a comment. What do you think explains the acceleration? Natural outgassing that somehow didn't break Atlas apart? Or propulsion systems firing with calculated precision? Next up in the Atlas Files, the origin questions. Wow signal direction, impossible size and speed combination, and traveling faster than human spacecraft. Watch the playlist, Atlas Anomalies.